Dipole in uniform electric field. What happens if a dipole is placed in uniform electric field? So first let me find out the force experienced by the dipole. Here in this case, we know that the positive charge will try to move in the direction of the field, whereas the negative charge will try to move in the direction of the opposite direction to the electric field. Here, this is the force experienced by positive charge, and this is the force experienced by negative charge. So the net force experienced by the dipole, so F net is given by the sum of force experienced by positive charge plus force experienced by the negative charge. We know that the force experienced by the positive charge is F positive, which is given by product of charge into electric field at that point. So here I can write Q into EB, because positive charge is placed at point B and electric field at point B is EB, plus this is minus Q into EA. So here, if you take a Q common, this will become EB minus EA. But already I told you, this is a uniform electric field. In uniform electric field, the magnitude at any point is equal. So EA is equal to EB. So this will become 0. So the net force experienced by dipole is given by F net is 0. That means a dipole placed in a uniform electric field will not experience any force. When there is no force, there is no acceleration. That means this dipole will not move in any direction. So it will be at rest. That means there is no translatory motion for a dipole in uniform electric field. No translatory motion, because it does not experience any force. Dipole does not experience a net force. Now, let me take torque experienced by dipole. To find out the torque experienced by dipole, we know that torque is the product of the position vector and the force experienced by that one. So in this case, the net torque is given by tau net is given by torque experienced by the negative charge plus torque experienced by the positive charge. What is the torque experienced by the negative charge? We know that the torque is the product of position vector into force. Here, what is the position vector of the negative charge? Negative charge position vector is RA bar plus into the force experienced by this one. Let me take it as force experienced by negative charge plus the second positive charge, that is for positive charge, this will be RB bar cross F plus bar. Here RA bar cross, what is the force experienced by negative charge here? Negative charge will be minus EQA. So let me write this as minus Q cross EA plus this will be RB cross, this will be Q cross EB bar. And you can see that Q is common here. You can take Q common and we have minus RAB. This is plus. So we can write, we can take QEA, QEB, because EA is equal to EB in a uniform electric field. The magnitudes or the directions are equal. So I can take QA and QB as EQ. The remaining terms are RB bar cross minus RA bar. So you can write RB bar cross minus RA bar into Q into E bar. But this is RB minus RA bar is, this is RB bar second position vector, this is first position vector, this is R bar, which is the distance between the two charges in the dipole. So here I can write this as R bar Q cross E bar. But R bar is the distance between the two charges in the dipole, which we can write P bar cross E bar. So the net dipole moment, the net torque acting on this one is net dipole moment into E bar. So this is the expression to find out the torque experienced by the dipole. So here this can also be written as the magnitude of this one is given by Pe sin theta, because P cross E is equal to Pe sin theta. This is the magnitude of this one. If theta is equal to 0, this will become torque tau is equal to 0. That means when the dipole is parallel to the field, it will not experience any torque. If dipole is perpendicular, let us say theta is equal to 90, this torque will be Pe sin 90 is 1, so torque tau is equal to Pe. So this is the maximum dipole moment, this is 0. But here, if theta is 90 or 270, you will have plus or minus Pe, and both values are maximum only. Even minus Pe indicates that the magnitude of torque is Pe only, but acting in the opposite direction. If theta 0 or 180, this is the minimum torque, and this is the maximum torque experienced by the dipole. The same expression without these vectors can also be derived like this. Here, the torque tau is equal to R bar cross F bar, where R bar is the perpendicular distance between the two parallel forces. This is first force, this is second force. This is the perpendicular distance R here in the second observation. Let me take only the product of these two, magnitude RF. So RF is given by the perpendicular distance between the two forces. This is R and this is R into F. Here we can say that if it is making angle theta with electric field and distance is, let us say this is 2a, what we can write, this will become 2a sin theta into F is equal to EQ. So torque tau is equal to this Q into 2a is P, we can write Pe sin theta. This is another expression which we can derive to find out the magnitude of the torque. By using the same concept, we can say torque is minimum if theta is 0 or 180, and torque is maximum if theta is 90 or 270. Here, potential energy of the dipole in uniform electric field, which is given by potential energy is nothing but the work done. So this work done is given by Q into the potential. Here, there are two charges. The first charge is minus Q, and the potential at this point VA, plus the second charge is plus Q, potential at that point is VB. So if you take minus Q common, it will get you will get VA minus VB. So this VA minus VB is the potential difference between points A and B. So how to find this one? In uniform electric field, delta E is equal to minus E into dr. So this is final potential VB minus VA is equal minus E dr. But I need here VA minus VB. So this is VA minus VB is equal plus E into dr. Dr is the distance between the 2 points in the direction of the field. That is, if it is R, this is the dr value. So VA minus VB is equal to E into, if it is R, this will become R cos theta. So let me substitute this value here, minus Q. VA minus VB is ER cos theta. But we know that the product of R and any one of the charge is dipole moment. That is Q into R is equal to dipole moment. This will become PE cos theta. This is the potential energy of dipole. This is one method. But we can derive the same expression by another method also. In this case, here I am going to take the potential energy U is equal to work done in rotating a dipole through a small angle. So let me take first the small work done to rotate the dipole by a small angle, which is given by, in linear motion, work is given by the dot product of force and linear displacement. But as it is rotating about its center, here we have to write the torque acting or experienced by the dipole into the angular displacement. So here torque already we derived PE sin theta into d theta. So this is a small work done. The total work done is given by integral PE sin theta d theta. So where PE is constant, integral sin theta d theta with limits So without limits, let me find out this one first. This will become PE integral of sin theta is minus cos theta. So the total work done is given by minus PE cos theta. So this is the work done, and this work done will be stored as potential energy. Both equations are similar equations. So in competitive exams, we are interested to remember only the final expression but not the approach. So here, if theta is equal to 0, that means if dipole is parallel to the electric field in the direction of the electric field, then cos 0 is 1 and the potential energy will be minus PE, that is parallel to the field. If theta is equal to 90, U will be cos 90 is 0, 0. And if theta is equal to 180 degrees, that is anti-parallel, this is 90 or 270, the total energy, potential energy of dipole will be 0. If theta is 180 anti-parallel to the electric field, U will be minus PE cos 180, cos 180 is minus 1, minus of minus plus 1, so this is plus PE. So we can say that the dipole has least potential energy when it is parallel to the field, and dipole has maximum potential energy when it is anti-parallel to the field. When it is parallel to this one, we can say that the dipole is said to be in stable equilibrium. Stable equilibrium means if you displace the dipole a little bit and if you release it, it will oscillate for some time and it comes to rest. So the dipole is said to be stable equilibrium if it is parallel to the electric field, and it is said to be unstable if it is anti-parallel to electric field. So in stable equilibrium, the potential energy of dipole is a minimum. So remember this point. Whenever the potential energy of a dipole in a uniform electric field is minimum, then it is said to be in stable equilibrium. So this is the link between these two. And when it is unstable equilibrium, the dipole will have maximum potential energy. Potential energy is maximum. Here, work done to rotate the dipole very slowly in the electric field. So work done is nothing but the change in potential energy of dipole, that is final potential energy minus initial potential energy. So what is the final potential energy? We know the equation for the potential energy is minus PE cos theta. So now you can write minus PE cos theta 2 of minus PE cos theta 1. If you take the PE common, you can write cos theta 1 minus cos theta 2 is the work done. So by using this equation, we can write, we can find the work done to rotate the dipole from any position. Let us say it is initially kept parallel to the electric field and rotated by an angle theta. So what is the work done? Then from 0 degrees to theta, so work done is given by PE cos 0 minus cos theta, which we can cos 0 is 1, so this will become W is equal to PE 1 minus cos theta. If dipole is rotated from 0 to 90, so this expression can be written as from 0 to 90 degrees, then work done W dash PE. This is cos 0 1, cos 90 0, this will become 1, so which is equal to PE. Let us say if the dipole is parallel to the field and rotated by 180 degrees, that is from parallel to anti-parallel, so 0 to 180 degrees, then this equation W double dash is equal to PE cos 0 is 1, this is 1, minus cos 180 is minus 1, so this expression will become minus of minus plus 2 PE. So that means the work done to rotate the dipole from parallel to perpendicular is PE, from parallel to anti-parallel is twice the double to rotate the dipole from parallel to perpendicular, means twice the PE, 2 PE. Now in E, In stable equilibrium, already we discussed this in the previous video. In stable equilibrium, P bar and E bar are parallel to each other. That means both the dipole moment and electric field are in the same direction. Second one, the net force experienced by dipole will be 0 as it is uniform electric field. Net torque is also equal to 0 because torque tau is equal to Pe sin theta here as it is parallel in stable equilibrium. Parallel means theta is equal to 0 degrees. And the fourth one, the potential energy of this dipole minus Pe cos theta, that is minus Pe cos 0. Cos 0 is 1. So this will be this minus Pe. So it will experience a minimum potential energy. But in unstable equilibrium, here the first point is P bar and E bar are anti-parallel. Theta is equal to 180 degrees. These are anti-parallel. And the second point is the net force will be 0. In any uniform electric field, the dipole will experience a net force as 0, will not experience any force. The torque anti-parallel Pe sin 180, sin 180 is also 0. So torque will be 0. But the potential energy is equal to minus Pe cos theta, that is minus Pe cos 180. Cos 180 is minus 1. Minus Pe into minus 1, this will be plus Pe, which is maximum. So this is the maximum potential energy. In this, if dipole is slightly rotated from its stable equilibrium position or equilibrium, so let me take stable equilibrium position. If the dipole is slightly, and if you release it, rotate from stable equilibrium and released, that means afterwards we are not applying any torque, it will try to come back to its original position due to restoring torque. Here, as it is rotating, we should write restoring torque. If it is moving, linear motion, restoring force. So in this case, what we can write? Here, the restoring torque, the torque experienced by any object is given by tau alpha. Torque is equal to moment of inertia into angular acceleration, tau alpha. But this is equal to minus Pe sin theta, because when it is rotated by a small angle, at angle theta, the torque experienced by dipole is Pe sin theta. As it is restoring torque, the restoring torque will be equal and opposite to this original torque, so which is given by minus Pe sin theta. When it is rotated slightly and released, it will not come to its original position, it will oscillate about this original position. Let us say this is the original position, present position, this is the original position. If it is rotated about this point by a small angle d theta, this is the electric field. So if it is rotated from this position, this is first position and this is second position. If it is rotated slightly and released, it will move, it will oscillate about this position, and finally the amplitude of vibration or rotation decreases and it comes to its original position after making some oscillations. So what is the time period of the oscillation of this dipole in the uniform electric field that we are finding here? So you see this equation, tau is equal to I alpha is equal to minus Pe sin theta. As I said earlier, here theta is very small, we can write I alpha is equal to minus Pe theta, as theta is very small, sin theta nearly equal to theta. Alpha is equal minus Pe by I theta. This is equation 1. In linear simple harmonic motion, A is equal to minus omega square y. But in angular SHM, we can write alpha is equal to minus omega square theta. This is equation 2. Just to compare equation 1 with 2, alpha, what we can write, omega can be written as PE by I. This is equation 3. This is from equation 1 and 2 by comparing these two equations. Now, the time period of oscillations of this dipole in the uniform electric field is given by T is equal to 2 pi by omega, which is given by 2 pi by this omega. Actually this is root over PE by I. This will be root over PE by I. So time period is equal to 2 pi root I by PE. So this is the time period of the oscillations of the dipole in uniform electric field, where I is the rotational inertia, P is the dipole moment, and E is the strength of the electric field in which the dipole is placed. Dipole in non-uniform electric field. What happens if a dipole is placed in a non-uniform electric field? Here the lines are not parallel and equidistant from each other, so this is a non-uniform electric field. The strength of the electric field changes from point to point. Here we cannot say EA is equal to EB. Here we have to say EA is not equal to EB. That means field strength changes from point to point. Now, what is the force experienced by the dipole? Force experienced by dipole. We can write F net is given by force experienced by negative charge plus force experienced by the positive charge. So force is nothing but the product of the charge at that point and the field strength at that point. So here I can write minus Q into EA, because electric field at this point is EA and charge placed is minus Q, plus this will be Q into EB. You can take a Q common here, so this Q will be equal to EB minus EA. What is EB value? If you observe this diagram, the strength of the field is more at point B. Why? Because here lines are crowded together. At A, lines are far away from each other. So here strength of field is more at B than A. So here you can write Q, this EB can be written as EA plus dou E. That is a change in electric field with respect to the dipole moment of the dipole minus EA. So this is the dipole electric field at point B, and you can cancel this one. You can write Q into dou E. Here we are partially differentiating E with respect to the distance or the displacement in the direction of the electric field. So this can be written as Q into dou E into dou R by dou R, where dou R is the small distance between these two charges in this field. So let me take this as dou R. We can say the product of one of the charge and distribution two charges is a dipole moment. So here Q into dou R is equal to P bar. So this will be P bar into dou E by dou R. This is the change in electric field with respect to the distance in the direction of the dipole moment. So the net force experienced by the dipole in a non-uniform electric field is given by the dipole moment of the dipole into the rate at which the electric field changes with the distance in the direction of the electric field. Electric potential due to a dipole. Here I have taken a dipole with the charges minus Q plus Q, distance between these two 2A, and dipole moment which is acting along positive y-axis here. We wish to find out dipole moment at point P at a distance R from the center of the dipole. So the distance of this point P from the center will be R. Here, what are the distance of R1 and R2 in terms of the known quantities? Here known quantities is, this is A, this is R. What we can write? A bar, this is A bar plus R1 bar is equal to R bar. So from this R1 bar is equal to R bar minus A bar. By using vectors, we can write magnitude of R1 is equal to root over R square plus A square minus 2AR cos theta. So this one theta. So R1 is equal to, you can write R1 is equal to R square plus A square minus 2AR cos theta whole power 1 by 2, or if you square out on both sides you will get this one, squaring on both sides. So this will be 1 by R1 square is equal to, before this here, R1 square is equal to, if you take R square common, 1 plus A square by R square minus 2A cos theta by R. As it is a short dipole, we can say A is much lesser than R. So A square is nearly 0, or A square by R square is 0. So this term we can neglect. So R1 square is equal to R square of 1 minus 2A cos theta by R. Now you can write this as R1 square is equal to R square 1 minus 2A cos theta by R whole power 1. If you write this one 1 by R1 square, this is 1 by R1 square, 1 by R1 square is equal to 1 by R square, 1 minus 2A cos theta by R whole power minus 1. Now square rooting 1 by R1 is equal to 1 by R, 1 minus 2A cos theta by R whole power minus 1 by 2. This minus 1 by 2 comes here, this is plus 1 by 2 because as it is very small, this is in the form of 1 plus x whole power n. 1 plus x whole power n is equal to 1 plus nx if x is much lesser than 1. So as A is very small, R is very big, this quantity is very small. So you can write 1 by R can be written as 1 by R 1 plus A cos theta by R. Similarly 1 by R2 can also be written as 1 by R2 is equal to 1 by R 1 minus A cos theta by R. Now to find out the potential at point P, the potential at point P is given by potential due to positive charge plus potential due to negative charge. So 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught positive charge q by distance is R1. So here let me take this as minus, this is plus. So this is R1 minus 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q by R2. Bring q by 4 pi epsilon naught outside. This is 1 by R1 minus 1 by R2 q by 4 pi epsilon naught. This 1 by R1 minus 1 by R2, we know 1 by R1 value as well as 1 by R2 value, which is given by 1 by R 1 plus A cos theta by R minus 1 by R 1 minus A cos theta by R. So this will be written as q by 4 pi epsilon naught. This is 1 by R minus 1 by R. So these two get cancelled, plus and plus. This minus of minus will become plus. So 1 by R 2A cos theta by R. So here you can see q into 2A, which is the dipole moment of this dipole. So here I am writing 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q into 2A is P cos theta by R square. This is the potential due to a dipole at any point on the equatorial line. So here, if theta is equal to 0 degree, that is on axial line. So potential on axial line is given by, this is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught P cos 0 by R square. So which we can write 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught P cos 0 is 1 by R square. So this is the potential on axial line expression, and the potential on equatorial line where theta is equal to 90 degrees, that is on equatorial line, potential on equatorial line is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught p cos 90. Cos 90 is 0. So the entire expression will become 0. That we can prove. Why? Because if you take any point on the equatorial line of a dipole, the distance of negative charge and positive charge is equal. So at each and every point, at any point on the equatorial line, even at the midpoint of the dipole, the electric potential is 0. So this on both sides, any point on the equatorial line, the potential is 0 because effect of positive and negative charges will be equal, and as they are scalar quantities, the net field will become 0. We will discuss dipole-dipole interaction. So how to find the potential energy of two dipoles when they are placed parallel to each other, perpendicular to each other. So in different combinations, how to find out the interaction energy, that is potential energy of the two dipoles. We studied the method of finding potential energy of two charges or three charges or system of charges. But in this video, we will discuss about the potential energy of two dipoles when they are placed in different orientations. So in this case, if you take two charges, let me take this is Q1, this is Q2, and they are separated by a distance R. We know that the electrostatic potential energy of these two charges separated by a distance R is given by 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 by R. So this is the potential energy of system of two charges when they are separated by a distance R. By using this one, we can find out the force between these two charges, as the electrostatic force is a conservative force. We can write this as the electrostatic force is equal to minus of d by dr of u. That means if you differentiate the electrostatic potential energy with respect to the distance between the two charges, we will get the force. So you can apply this formula for any conservative force. Not only for electric force, even for gravitational force. So for any conservative force, you can use this formula. Now, how to find out the force between these two charges? We can write this as F is equal to minus d by dr of u is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 by R. Now you can bring the constants outside. This F will become 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 d by dr of 1 by R. So this is derivative of 1 by R. We know that minus 1 by R square. So this force F will become, this minus already exists here, minus minus minus, the minus 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 minus 1 by R square. This is derivative of d by dr of 1 by R is minus 1 by R. Now multiply this minus with minus, you will get plus. So this will be plus 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 by R square. So this is the expression that we can derive from Coulomb's law. The force between two charges separated by some distance is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 by R square. Let us say here, if you get a plus sign here, the plus sign indicates that the charges repulse with each other. So the force is repulsive here, force in these two. Let us say if one of the charge is positive, other charge is negative, slowly here you will get a minus here, and a minus of minus plus here, and finally minus here you will get a minus. That means if force is negative, so we can say force is attractive. So that means in the expression, if we have negative sign here, we can say that force between these two charges is attractive. Now, let me take one more example. Instead of this, let me take one dipole of dipole moment p bar, and from the center of dipole, we have a charge which is placed here at point P. So what is the interaction force between these two charges? Here, this is a single charge, but here we have two charges, which is minus q and plus q, or minus q1 and plus q1, or minus q10 and plus q10, or minus qn or plus qn. Now, how to find the force between these two? First of all, If you observe this pattern here, the potential energy is given by F is equal to minus PE cos theta, which is given by, this is in the field of this charge Q. That means this charge will produce field here, and this is in the field of Q, or what we can say, if you extend this line, this is the axial line of the dipole, so this is also in the field of this dipole. That means charge is in the field of the dipole, or dipole is in the field of the charge. Now here, if you write this one, this is P1. What is the electric field here? From here to here distances are, this is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by R square. So what is the angle between P and E? Here P is along positive x-axis, and due to this electric field here is in negative x-axis. So theta will be 180. So this is cos 180. So what we can write? Minus P1 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by R square. This is cos 180 is minus 1. So the potential energy is given by minus of minus plus. So P1 Q by 4 pi epsilon naught R square. This is the potential energy of these two. Now, how to find out the force? Let me use the same formula, differentiate this U with respect to R. You will get minus of d by dr of P1 Q by 4 pi epsilon naught R square. Now, the constant answer P1 Q by 4 pi epsilon naught. We have minus here, keep minus here. This is d by dr of 1 by R square. This 1 by R square is nothing but, if it goes up, R power minus 2, and the differentiation of that one is minus 2 R power minus 3. Minus 2 R power minus 3. Minus 2 R power minus 3. Here minus minus is plus. So this is plus P1 Q by 4 pi epsilon naught. This is 2 by R cube. Now you can cancel 2 and 2 here. This will be P1 Q by 2 pi epsilon naught R cube. Why? Because here we have positive charge. This is also positive charge, and this is negative charge. So these two positive charges repulse more than the attraction between these two. So repulsive force will dominate here than the attraction between this and this. So that's why here we have plus here. So this force is repulsive. So this is how we can find out the force between a single charge and a dipole. In this case, if we keep two dipoles, this is the midpoint of the first dipole, this is the midpoint of the second dipoles, and these two dipoles are having two different dipole moments, P1 and P2, and these two are separated by distance r. And if you see this diagram, both are along the same line. That means the second dipole is on the axial line of the first dipole, or what we can say, the first dipole is on the axial line of the second dipole. So that means both are along the same line. Now, what is the potential energy formula? U is equal to minus PE cos theta. So the potential energy of this system of two dipoles is given by, so let me take the second dipole is in the field of first dipole. So minus of P2. What is the electric field here due to this dipole? The electric field due to a dipole on an axial line is given by 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught 2p by r cube. In this derivation, we are taking short dipoles or ideal dipoles whose size is very negligible when compared to the distance r. That means r is much larger than 2a. So here E will be 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught 2p1 by r cube. But at this point, what is the direction of the electric field due to this dipole? The electric field is in the direction of P2 only. So both P2 and E, this P and E are in the same direction. So let me take it as cos 0. So U is equal minus 2 by 4 pi epsilon naught P1 P2 by R cube, cos 0 is 1. So this is equation 1. So this is the potential energy or interaction potential energy, or in some problems they may give it as interaction energy of two dipoles is minus 2 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught P1 P2 by R cube. Now, how to find out the force between these two dipoles? To find out the force, as I said earlier, this is the negative of the differentiation of the potential energy with respect to distance. This is minus of d by dr of minus 2 P1 P2 by 4 pi epsilon naught R cube. This will become minus of minus, it will become plus. So let me write this as 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught 2 P1 P2 d by dr of 1 by R cube. So this 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught 2 P1 P2. This is 1 by R cube, or nothing but R power minus 3. If you differentiate that to R power minus 3, you will get a minus 3 R power minus 4. So minus 3 into 2 will be minus 6. So this is minus 6 P1 P2 by 4 pi epsilon naught 1 by R power 4. So this is the force between two dipoles when they are placed along the same line. So in simplification, you can write this as F is equal, let me take 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught as K, that is K 6 P1 P2 by R power 4. But here this is negative. The negative sign indicates that this force is not repulsive, this is attractive. Why? Because in this case, generally we take this as minus charge plus charge. This is minus charge plus charge. Now negative and positive charges are nearer to each other, so these two attract each other than the repulsion between these two or repulsion between these two. That's why the net force is attractive. So the force is attractive between these two. But what happens if these dipoles are placed parallel to each other but perpendicular to a line joining these two midpoints? So in this case, we to find out the potential energy U as minus Pe cos theta, which is, let me take this point. So here the second dipole is P2, and here electric field due to the first one is given by, this is the point on the equatorial of this dipole, which can be written as 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught P1 by R cube. And what is the angle between electric field and dipole moment in this case? Here we know that if it is negative charge and positive charge, if it is positive charge, positive negative attracts, positive positive repels. So this is E1 direction. Here E1 is downwards and P2 is upwards. So the angle between E1 and P2 will be cos 180 degrees. So this is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught P1 P2 by R cube, and cos 180, once again we have minus 1. So this is minus of minus plus. This is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught P1 P2 by R cube. This is the potential energy. The potential energy in the previous case was minus 2 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught P1 P2 by R cube. But here this is plus 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught P1 P2 by R cube. Now to find out the force, the interaction force between these two charges, let me write these two dipoles. I can write this as minus of d by dr of 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught P1 P2 by R cube. Here we know that 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught P1 P2 are constants, bring them outside. So this will become minus 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught P1 P2 d by dr of R power minus 3. This is 1 by R cube can be written as R power minus 3, and derivative of R power minus 3 is minus 3 R power minus 4. So this is minus 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught P1 P2 minus 3 R power minus 4. This minus of minus will become plus here, plus 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. This will be 3 P1 P2 by R power 4. So the force between these two dipoles, when they are placed parallel to each other, with their dipoles are parallel but perpendicular to a line joining the two midpoints or centers, is given by, here I got a positive value. So this I will write this as K. So this is K3 P1 P2 by R power 4. So here, as I got positive value, this is a repulsive force. When dipoles are placed like this, P1 along y-axis and P2 along x-axis, here what we can say, these two dipoles are placed perpendicular to each other. So with their axial lines are perpendicular to each other. Now, if I want to use this formula, U is equal to minus PE cos theta, this will be minus, this is P2, and electric field due to this one at this point is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught P1 by R cube. This because this point is on the equatorial line of this dipole P1. So P1 by R cube. Now, what is the angle between this P2 and this E here? Here P2 is along x-axis, and even if you take this one, negative plus, these two attracts the repulse, this will be downwards. So electric field is perpendicular to P2. So we have to write the angle between P2 and E is 90. So the potential energy is 0. That means the interaction potential energy of these two dipoles in this arrangement, in this configuration is 0. But if potential energy 0 means we cannot say that force is 0. Why? Because if we use this equation here, F is equal to minus d by dr of u. F is equal to minus d by dr of 0. So 0 is a constant. There is a constant 0. So force should be 0. But here we know that the negative charge here will attract this one, the negative charge here will attract this one. There must be some attraction or repulsion between these two, so force cannot be 0. That means this process is wrong in this case. Why this is wrong? Here, if you take this one, electric field, as these dipoles are very short, electric field is taken either in the direction of the field in the first case, and this is opposite to the direction of the dipole moment. So here field is in the direction of dipole or in the opposite direction of dipole. Here P and E are anti-parallel, and in the first case P and E are parallel, but here P and E are perpendicular. When P and E are perpendicular, we cannot use this method. So which method we have to find out? So here when P and E are perpendicular, P2 and electric field due to the first dipole, that is E1, are perpendicular, then we need to use some other method. So what is that method? We know that the electric field due to this one will act here, 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 here. As the distance increases, the field strength due to the dipole decreases. That means this P2 is not in the uniform electric field. This is said to be in non-uniform electric field, because this end it will experience more field, and as the distance increases, this will experience less electric field strength. That means this is in non-uniform field produced by P1. So here in non-uniform field, when a dipole is placed in non-uniform field, we know that force is equal to dipole into dou E by dou R. So we need to use this formula. So here, what is the force of attraction between these two? F is equal, remember, this is for non-uniform field. Now, so this is the second dipole moment P2 and dou by dou R of, what is the electric field due to this one here? Electric field due to P1 at that point is given by, this can be written as 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught P1 by R cube, as it is this point is on the equal line of this dipole. So now you can write P1, P2 outside, 1 by 4 pi epsilon outside, this will be 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught P1, P2, and this will be R power minus 3 derivative. So already we solved it so many times. This is minus 3 R power 4. So this will be minus 3 P1, P2 by 4 pi epsilon naught R power 4. Or I can write this 1 by 4 pi epsilon as K minus 3K P1, P2 by R power 4. So this is the force. And here you can observe that this is a negative. Whenever the force is negative, we can say that this is attractive force.